Welcome to another episode of Leverage Addict Podcast. I'm your host, Blandon, and today we are going to explore two things. Number one is how and why you want to consider property investing in 2024. And secondly, I'm going to show you the EOFY Financial Year Special that's going to help you accelerate your journey in 2024. Now, stepping into 2024, many of you have financial goals. And if you ask Tony Robbins, he will tell you that a lot of people set these goals, but they might not necessarily take the action. And so I want to help you with that. If you have set a goal about property investing, most people set that investing goal for the one same reason, which is to have those financial options for their family, to be in a place of confidence financially. Now, if you look at the property prices in the last 6 months, you would have noticed that we are paying significantly lower than what we were paying in 2021. Has the prices actually bottomed out? The truth is, I don't really know. But there are three things that I'm very confident on. And the first one is that property prices have dropped significantly, right? If we compare to 2021. Secondly, if you look at the data, you'll see that property prices is on the uptrend, potentially indicating that we have bottomed out and we are starting to see a recovery. And thirdly, I know properties in the last 50, 100, 1,000 years is something that has gone up in value over time. This is a great wealth store for civilization and is still a great wealth builder today. Now, of course, is not the only wealth builder. You can choose other vehicles like shares and building a business, cryptocurrency, or, you have side hustle that you can put away money maybe in a savings account. But property is certainly one vehicle that you can choose to build your wealth in the next 10, 20 years. So here are 5 steps for you to get started in 2024. I always say this. The first one is set a measurable goal. Why are you doing this? What is the outcome that you're trying to drive? I think it's a big mistake if you're setting a goal where you're talking about 10 properties, 10 years, because 10 properties can be 100K, 10 properties can be 50K. You need to know what options you're driving for. Is it 100K of passive income, 200K passive income? And how you justify for those figures is like, well, I want to go on a cruise every year. That's going to cost me 20K. I want to donate 20K to church. I want to give 30K to my kids or grandkids to private school. I want to have $50,000 to buy new handbags for my wife. I'm not sure, but you can certainly build out what kind of passive income you want to drive for in the long run. So setting a measurable goal and knowing the why is going to make that way more tangible and way easier to achieve as well. Now, secondly, you need to work out what you need to do to actually achieve it. The great thing about property is that the numbers tend to be quite consistent over the last 50, 100 years. You know roughly what is the capital gains. You know roughly how much you can return on a property on rental side. So if you have an outcome that you're trying to drive, maybe it's $1, $2, $3 million or a passive income goal, then you know how many properties you need to potentially buy today to actually achieve that goal. Now, is it exactly going to be the same as the result that you're driving for? Not sure, but somewhere you will land in the area of the vicinity of what you're trying to achieve, because property is somewhat predictable based on the 100 years that we've looked at properties. The third one is look at your borrowing capacity, because you need to understand what are you capable of, because if you just take someone else's strategy and apply it in your situation, you might not be able to achieve the same results. So it's very important to understand what your equity position is and what is your borrowing power. And because of that, you will determine what sort of strategy you need to go for. So once you know how much you can borrow, then you can look at the SWOT analysis. You can determine what are the strengths of your position, what are the weakness. Then you can identify what are the opportunities you can go for, which strategy is going to be more suited, and identify the threats, because this is important, because some people might just be so focused on the next property, they forget they are trying to build a portfolio, not trying to buy one property. So if they want to build a portfolio, it's very important to identify what are the threats that's going to stop you from growing and give yourself some outs. By that, I mean, how are you going to recycle the equity? How are you going to buy the next property after that? Are you going to buy enough properties for the goal that you're trying to achieve? And once you've done those 4, then you choose the property strategy. Very important to notice, because a lot of people start with the property strategy first. And if they're not in the right financial position, they will not get a good result, and they might not even build the portfolio that they need for the results that they want. So when you select a property strategy, it's important to know where you are. Are you high cash flow, high equity, low cash flow, or somewhere in between? Depending on where you are, the strategy that you need to adopt is different. So for example, if you're low equity, low cash flow, you might need to look at trading. You might need to look at joint ventures. And if you're in a high cash flow, high equity position, you might want to explore what we call land banking, where properties might give you negative cash flow, but you have significantly higher capital gains in the long run, and also you can develop the property in the future. So those are the 5 steps to get you started. Now, to pair with that as a bonus, step number 6 is to put the right structure in place, right? You want to have your gun loaded so that when the game comes, you're ready to shoot. So how do you do that? Well, you can look at your mortgage structure right now and your property structure. What entities do you need to create? Is it an LTC? Is it a family trust? If you've got a business, maybe it's about restructuring the business into a trust so that you can have some tax deductible mortgage, and setting up that revolving credit so that you have the money ready to go. If that deal comes and it's so good, you need to go unconditional and you need to pay the cash straight away for the deposit. And how you can determine whether or not you have the right structure to get started straight away is talk to a mortgage advisor. And so I did mention about, if you want to get started this year, you are going to get the EOFY Financial Year Special with us. If you look to settle a property or restructure your mortgage before the 1st of April, we are giving away $1,500 of value, which is going to generate you well over $150,000 in properties. This is absolutely free, and I urge you to take it along on your journey. So what does this end of financial year offer include? The first one is the 3 Mortgage Lifecycle Masterclass that we have available on website. Over 1,000 Kiwis have watched this. Hundreds have gotten great results from it. And it's a framework on how you can pay off your mortgage faster, how you utilize your equity to buy properties, and then turn your properties into passive income. Secondly, you are going to get the Property Formula book. This is written by Andrew. This is all the case studies, the clients that we work with, the key concepts that we teach. This is going to help you get a great understanding of property investing in New Zealand. Thirdly, you are going to get the Property Accelerator. This is our $699 course online. This is self-learning, where you're going to get the how-to, step-by-step, to get into property investing, why you need to do it, what you need to look for. As part of the Accelerator, you're going to get a one-on-one strategy session with me, where I'm going to go over with you what your big goals are, what is the overall strategy that you should aim for. Now, I always tell people this, I'm no billionaire investor, but what I am good at is helping my clients identify strength and opportunity and come up with a strategy that works, because I've helped hundreds of clients do that. And if you've been listening to my podcast, I hope that you rate me as a decent teacher. So hopefully you find value in that as well. On top of that, you're also getting the 20 case studies from the last 12 to 18 months of properties that clients have settled that we deem to be good investment properties. These are usually cash flow multi-units or land banks that is developable. We have never released this before. This is going to be in a PDF where you can have a brief case studies on some of these properties that our clients have settled, so you can see exactly what good properties look like. And lastly, you are going to get the Mortgage HQ shirt, because this is going to make you look suave like me, or maybe you might disagree. You probably make it look way more suave than me. So to be eligible for this exclusive package, you just need to settle a mortgage with us between now and 1st of April. And I hope this is enough to help you get started if you're on the fence about property investing. And of course, this is coming to the end of the episode. If you have found value and you learned something, make sure you share it with somebody that could get value from it. This is all we ask for, because we do this for free, and I set time aside every single week to do some content for you guys. So if you're not sure whether or not you can get started or restructure now, hey, just get in touch. We've got a booking link in the description, and you'll be able to go to the page, take the Mortgage Lifecycle quiz, and once you've done the quiz, our team will actually get in touch and try and book you in a strategy session with a mortgage advisor. Until next time, I'll see you guys in the next episode.